extended from the 50 EMA, coming into multiple levels of support or resistance, with previous liquidity left to be recovered. Confluence equals confidence. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about the Disruptive Developers Tactical Analysis Indicators Part 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if you want an in-depth, detailed, step-by-step, written down instructions breaking down the indicator, okay, you can head on into the Discord. All right, Premier Crypto has done an excellent job of updating this portion of the PDF. I will add this video there as well. Okay, once you come into the Discord, the link to the Discord is in the description to this video. All right, and you come on into Tactical PDF. All right, it is updated here. Once you click on that, let me X out. All right, it'll take you to the PDF. All right, and it starts on, let's see, where is the indicators? Start here on page 11. All right, and it'll go through step by step, so you have something to refer back to, on paper, so to speak, digital paper. All right, and it'll talk about everything about this indicator. But I'm going to go over a little bit about how we use it for the strategy and some of the tweaks that I personally use. Okay, the amazing thing about this indicator, and we call it an indicator because that's what they call them on TradingView, but really it is a script based off a strategy. Okay, meaning that this script part 1, 2, and 3, and again it's 3 parts. I wanted to make sure that everybody who only has TradingView without paid TradingView has the ability to have all 3 parts of the indicator, because you can only have 3 on your chart if that is the case. So everybody is available to have all 3 parts of the indicator. And again, this is more than an indicator. Again, it is a script that defines the entire strategy that we use. Okay, we'll start with part 1, TVAR, Tactical Volume Analysis and Recovery. Okay, what do we use in part 1? All right, part 1 has, importantly, the EMAs. We know that in this strategy, we trade mean reversion or reversion back to the moving averages, specifically the 50 EMA. Okay, on any time frame, we look for price to be deviated away from the EMA, and we only trade back to the EMAs where we know price must return due to the law of averages, again, the law of mean reversion. Okay, so if we start on part 1, you can see we have the 50 EMA. They have the dragon here. Basically, it's supposed to show volatility, but what I use it for is to just get a better idea of touches back to the 50 EMA. It's not always perfect touches, as you can see, right? Sometimes we come up and just snip that, but it gives me a better visual to keep my eye centered in the chart of where they're supposed to be, and to not be so precise about those touches on the 50 EMA. All right, that is this bluish teal line with the dragon around it. The white line on every time frame is the 200 EMA. All right, and the blue is the purple. And then on every single time frame, this is the 4 hour, but if we go down to the 1 hour, we will see that on every time frame it shows us where the 4 hour 50 EMA is. And that is very important because that is the higher time frame EMA, all right, where other higher time frame swing traders may be using. But it gives us an idea. It keeps context so that we don't have to continue to scroll out for the bigger picture to see how extended we are, because on every time frame price must return back to the moving averages. Specifically, we look for the 50 EMA. So by having the 4 hour 50 EMA, you see here with this dotted lines, okay, we'll go to the 15-minute. You'll see it is there as well. Okay, there you go. There's your 4 hour 50 EMA. All right, and the reason it's important again is because you can see here, right, we are extended from the 4 hour 50 EMA. We've been away for a long time. So we would be looking for a retrace back to the 4 hour 50 EMA. And when we're trading on the lower time frames, 15-minute, hourly, some people trading even lower, okay, it's sometimes easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. All right, price is so extended down here. All right, people are like, oh, it's a downtrend, we're going to go even further down. Look, we're barely extended from the 50 on the 15. We could just, retest and continue down, and then not realizing that on the higher time frames, look how extended we are. We are due for a retrace. That's what we're looking for. Then we start to put together the strategy, not to get too off topic, but you guys know that I probably will, right? But not to get too off topic, right? But then, we take our scope, our reverse scope, okay? We put it from the swing high, the local here, swing high to swing low, and we say, oh, look at that, right? The reverse scope lines up with the 4-hour 50 EMA retest, right? And it lines up with the recovery of the red candle almost to the dollar, and it lines up with a retest, right, of this previous low, this notable volume support, notable volume support, notable volume break. We're waiting for that retest recovery, all right? So let me not get too off topic with the strategy, but again, this is how we use the strategy, right? This is how we put it together, okay? What else do we have on part one that's very, very important? Part of the strategy is these induction candles, these colored candles, all right? I focus mostly on the red and the green. What they indicate is volume above 200% or better than the average previous candles. It tells us where where market makers or the exchanges, liquidity providers are building opposing positions to retail traders, and that's where we look for price to return, just like I just showed, right? Because I see that we have this red candle that needs to be recovered, all right? I anticipate price going back to that level. Then I start to line up the other confluences, i.e. tactical zone, right? That support resistance zone I just showed. Then I pull the reverse scope. It lines exactly up there. Then I pull the 4-hour, and then we see the 4-hour 50 EMA lines exactly up with that level as well. If we look in the chart here, monthly VWAP lines up exactly with that level as well at a little bit over 60 at 61, right? If I turn the monthly VWAP on in part two, but we'll get to part two in a second. Okay, so again, this is how we use the strategy, right? And these candles, okay, an amazing job that they did, right? You can see this drawn across the chart, all right? We can see this red zone here, all right? What that indicates is that portion of the candle has not been recovered, all right? Every single one of these colored candles will paint all the way to the right to current price action, a box indicating the liquidity zone, as we call it, all right? And as price gets recovered, it will slowly get smaller and smaller. This way you can look on the chart and you can see where the zones that need to be recovered are. Believe me, this is top notch. This is a lifesaver, as I used to drag these across the chart for months and months and months sometimes and lose track of where the liquidity zones are. These will paint all the way to the right. We'll get to the settings on that in a second as well. Also, what we have all right, we can turn off part two. Right now, it's just to show part one. All right. Also, what we have are these session lines, right? Vertical session lines indicating when the next sessions start. Okay. So you can see here, all right, 0400 my time is the London Open. New York, here we go, right? New York Open. Bang, right on the line, right? 10:30, etc., etc. So this gives you an idea of where price is, right? Heading into some of these opens, because we know some of these opens are high volume opens, right? High liquidity where we can anticipate bigger moves. Some of them are consolidation zones here and there, okay? We can see when the start of the new day is. And as soon as the new day starts, it repaints New York and London all over again, all right? Again, giving us the concept of time and space because we're looking for price action. We're saying, okay, look, leading into a high volume London Open potentially, right? We have that going on in a couple of hours. We have price potentially breaking below the 50. We have this previous liquidity, et cetera, et cetera. We got our swing low, swing high, right? What do you know? Tactical zone lines exactly up with the retrace back to the scope of the move, right? If we see red coming here, I look for a retest recovery, all right? Again, try not to get too off track, but this is how I see price. This is how we move. This is how we anticipate price moving, all right? And this is how this helps, all right? Going into part one, all right, into the settings, take a look at some of the settings, okay? The ones that are important, right? So we can do this, right? Again, I really only focus on the red and the red and green, all right? There is purple and violet. Those indicate 150% or better higher volume. Again, on lower time frames, they can also be green candles. For me, I can leave them on the chart. I can take them or leave them, all right? But me, I focus on the red and green for whatever time frame I am at, all right? This will give you brightness levels. Okay, this will be different brightness levels, and this is max boxes per color. What this means is, if you look, all right, let me drag this over, okay, it's set to 4 right now. Okay, so what that means, it'll paint the next 4 red and the next 4 green away from where price action is. All right, it'll help you clean up the chart a little bit. All right, especially on the lower time frames when you have tons of red and green. You don't want red and green going all across your time frame or all across your charts. Okay, so you can simply change it. You could go lower, you can go 3, you can go higher, you can go 8. 4 is what I like, all right? This gives you the option to turn on and off the EMAs and the trench. Very simple. Simplicity was key in doing this, in doing these scripts, okay? because we wanted everybody to, when you get all those options, you have 1,000 different things you can change. Everybody has something different. We wanted everybody to have a clear-cut, easy way, simple way to go and have the options to do what they want to do, but also to try to keep everybody kind of looking the same on the charts. Everybody's charts looking like mine. So when you come and look at my charts, it's like looking at yours as well. You can understand better, right? Same with the session lines, right? You can turn the session lines on, you can turn the session lines off, right? Max set of groups. This is 1. That means this will show the next days, the next 24 hours worth of session opens. You can turn on or off individual sessions, all right? Show tactical windows, and same thing here, right? We got the tactical windows. We can turn those on or off, all right? Tactical windows being the pre-opens, or what Forex knows as the Brinks boxes, okay? That's pre-New York and pre-London open, all right? As we go down, here you go. United Kingdom, New York open. You can turn those on or you could turn those off, all right? We have the recon table, right? We're on desktop here. We can turn the recon table. What that does is allows us to see, okay? Allows us to see the future candles. Here we go, right? So the recon table will tell us when there are induction candles or these colored high volume candles occurring on some of the top crypto. So without even being on the chart, it'll alert you when one of those candles forms, all right? This is what I like here as well, all right? Show induction candles only, all right? What that does is allows you to only have, all right, the induction candles on the chart. All the EMAs and everything else, all right, will go off the chart. There you go. What this allows you is a cleaner chart where you can start pulling scopes, tactical zones, all right, and then you can put that back on the chart. I like to do that when I look at bigger pictures as well, all right. Keeps all that clutter off the chart when I want to do some more simple analysis and just strictly see where the scopes are, where the tactical zones are, and where they line up with the liquidity zones. All right, moving along again, this is very simple stuff, and that was the purpose, all right? That was the intention on the fact that we have very simple settings, all right? We have the things that we know we need. You could turn them on and off, not much variation or deviation, okay? Show induction candle letter, right? What that'll do is it'll put red, green, L, etc. All right, dim disruptive developers logo. No need to click that, right? We love disruptive dev. Shout out to everybody over there. All right, so let's move on to part 2. Again, this is very, very simple stuff, guys. All right, this indicator was made to be very simple and easy to use. Part 2, levels, right? We know that part 1, what we look for in a strategy is reversion, deviation and reversion back to the mean, and recovery of these liquidity zones. Okay, what do we look, right? Extended from the 50 EMA, part 1 of the song on repeat. What's part 2? Coming into multiple levels of support or resistance. Here are all your levels that I've ever used. Okay, do I use all of them now? Me personally, I don't always use all of them. All right, my scopes, my stuff, I have a better feel for the chart now. I can look at a chart without even EMAs usually. All right, but that's me. I got to the point I am by using all of this stuff and using all this knowledge, okay, and peeling away the layers as I saw fit as I evolved my trading. All right, what levels do we have here? We have monthly, weekly, daily support and resistance levels. We have daily, weekly, monthly, and previous of each highs and lows. We have the daily, weekly, and monthly open. We have daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly VWAP. We have average daily range highs and lows, average weekly range highs and lows. We have the psychological highs and lows that paint on the chart, the initial balance highs and lows, and the current price action, okay? And they are all color coded, right? Daily in blue. All right, initial balance and the daily stuff for the initial balance is in orange, okay? Monthly in purple, weekly in yellow, etc., etc., okay? Let's start looking at the settings. So 2 things, right? So not only is the whole table over here of every level and telling you exactly what price it's at, as you can see on the screen, it's also painted on the chart with current price action. Okay, so as right now, right, you can see the daily high was formed. Here was the daily open telling you where that is. So it's right at the current price action. When price comes up, you can have it show you exactly where price is hitting, right? So we could start to, again, paint a picture together, right? Let's start putting it together real quick, not to get off topic, right? So we have levels like this. You have your daily VWAP here. This will be your 50 EMA. So price has broken and retested resistance, right? We had price break above, find support at the VWAP. Okay, break down, find resistance at the VWAP. You can see it clearly across the screen, okay, which was a previous level. All right, it's also the initial balance low, right? So they pinned the high, pinned the low, formed the initial balance range, broke out, retested resistance, and started moving away from the daily open, away from the initial balance low, below the daily VWAP. All right, so you can start to see, right, in the 50 MA, we get red up and green up into that level. You can anticipate possible resistance, right? We'll be coming into multiple levels of resistance, all right, etc. Again, don't want to get too off topic with the strategy itself. All right, but these are all of the levels. Again, they are on the recon table and on the chart themselves. All right, let's go into the settings. Very simple, right? Part 1, price action. Deviation reversion from the mean extended from the 50 EMA. All right, part 2, the levels, coming into multiple levels of support and resistance. These are your levels on top of your tactical zones and your scope levels and LRT levels. Let's take a look at the settings. Okay, as we come into the settings, all right, let's move on down. Again, very simple settings. All right, coordinates table, which is this, right? You can turn it on or turn it off if you want it on your chart, or you don't. Okay, we can turn it back on. All right, induction color for tactical coordinates chart border. All right, that just makes the colors of the candles around the chart levels. All right, level reducer, very important. All right, chart clutter and clean charts was another goal of the team in developing this. We don't want sloppy charts, right? So what this does is allows us to choose how many levels we want to see on the chart, which is the lines, and how many levels we want to see on the table. Right now it's 4, all right? 4 above, 4 below. Over here, I don't have it set, but if I change this and I only want to see 8, okay, what that's going to do is show me the 8 closest levels above price action for resistance and the 8 closest levels below. All right, on the table, doesn't matter to me. I could keep a full table, all right, because it's all the way inside the chart. And you can also just take it right off the chart if you just want to see the levels there. Same thing with the lines, right? We can go 8, all right? What that's going to do is show me the 8 levels above and the 8 levels below, all right? You can see as it expanded there, all right? The 8 levels above and the 8 levels below the current price action. Again, you can turn those on or off, okay? So you can do that as a whole, all right? And then for each time frame, monthly, weekly, and daily, you can turn on or off any of the different levels, okay? And you can also turn on the extension for the levels, make them extend across the chart. Very simple, guys, right? Very simple, all right? You go through the visibility and the style, okay? Very simple stuff, all right? Not too complicated. That is the one of the main goals. All right. As you can see, it's the strategy, right? And then let's take a look at part 3. All right. Part 3 is the oscillators. All right. These are the things that I was using, right? TDI on top of money flow. All right. Shout out to Market Liberator, Kugel Blitz, everybody over at Market Liberator. I was a huge fan of the money flow. So I told the guys, hey, what if we had a TDI with a money flow, right? And they made it happen, right? They can make anything happen. All right, so here on the top, right, let's open it up. We have the TDI, all right? The Traders Dynamic Index or Tactical Directional Index, if I want to make up something fancy for the channel, all right? But it's a standard TDI, all right, with the Bollinger Bands on the top and the bottom in blue, all right? And then we have the price line, and we have the signal line, all right? So we have it's basically a fast moving and a slow moving RSI. We have the market base in the middle, and then what they added is, as you can see here, right, they added a volatility indicator, right? So the thicker price is here, the more the further away it is to the upside or the downside, okay? Then down here, okay, we have basically a VWAP, okay? You can look at it also like a directional indicator. It's an oscillator, all right? You're looking for a faster moving to cross over a slow moving, all right? We also have the momentum indicators here, okay? You can see the momentum, again, fast and slow moving, all right? And then here is where we have the money flow, red and green, money flow coming into and out of the asset. All right, let's take a look at some of the settings. All right, again, very simple stuff, right? Show the TDI, fill the volatility bands, right? It's just simple stuff, right? This fills up, right? You can make it easier to see. You can fill it up with blue, either way. All right, market line, histogram, right, which is that line in the middle. You can have it, you can take it away. You got the wave trend, money flow, and VWAP, right? You could take it away, right, if you don't want to see that, and just have your standard TDI, guys, right? This stuff is amazing and so simple to use, all right? Simple and easy to use, all right? You have the contrast, color contrast that you can change, all right? You could individually elect to show or not show those. Same thing with the signal options, right? You have a signal here when TDIs are crossing, money flow and VWAP are crossing. You can choose to have signals print in the box. And again, right, you could show TDI divergence and hidden divergence. You can see it right down here, right? Let me see if we can find a divergence really quick. Probably on the lower time frames, we see a lot more divergences, obviously. All right, let's see if we have one. Okay, there's one here, right? We're printing a lower high on the TDI, higher high on the price action. Okay, so this is part 1, 2, and 3. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of how to use it and how I use it, right? When everything is on, okay, that's how we look at price action. This is more than an indicator. It is a script designed to allow us to see and use all the things that I use and we use as a community to trade this price action. All right, let this come up. All right, let's put back on the EMAs and we'll talk really quickly about a little price action and we'll look at the indicators. Let me show you how I set up a trade using the indicators and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, let me bring back the EMAs. All right, so get rid of show induction candles only. Okay, here we go. All right, what are we looking at, right? Where's my EMAs? Bring on back my EMAs, guys. Okay, so here we go. All right, let's take a look at where price action is now, where it went, where we tested, and etc. Okay, here we go. All right, so for instance, okay, we have price coming down to psychological lows now. So here it is listed in my levels. Like I told you before, price came down, broke the previous support, and found resistance at the daily VWAP and initial balance low. What this is telling me is, right, they have pushed price down to the downside and broke out of the initial balance range, right, inducing and trapped traders and broke to the downside. Also, we have previous liquidity, right? In the flip side, right, how would I look at the price action leading into the daily open, right? We had the swing high, we had the swing low, right? So what did I have? I had leading into the daily open, right, Sydney raising price up, okay, pinning into the reverse scope. At the point of the daily open, we are now extended above the 50 EMA, coming into multiple levels of resistance, right? What did we have? We had the reverse scope extension. We had the psychological high, right? We had a previous support and resistance zone, right? In the form of the tactical zone, right? Price found resistance here. Here we go. Resistance here. We pinned up above there, right? Resistance, broke above, resistance. All right, so we're extended above the 50 EMA, coming into multiple levels of resistance. Again, reverse scope, tactical zone, psychological high, okay, with previous liquidity left to be recovered. So I can anticipate a retrace back to the downside. We open up our oscillators as well. What do we see? All right, TDI is on the top. What do we get at that time as well? We're extended from the 50 EMA, coming into multiple levels of resistance. Okay, we get the TDI crossing over the signal line, over the market base, okay, indicating a momentum change to the downside, okay, and this is how we use it. Let me bring back on the other part, which is the money flow, etc. Here we go, wave trend, money flow, VWAP. Take a look at that, right? At the same time, right, we get the VWAP crossover as well, all right, which happens even prior to the high being put in. All right, and then after entry, right, money flow goes into the red. On the 15-minute, money is coming out of the asset, telling me that the downward trade, the short, okay, price moving to the downside is the higher probability, right? Price comes down, we have our take profits, okay, we get a 4% move. What is the level, right? 4% move. We're coming down to retest what? Right? We're retesting the daily VWAP. Okay, we're retesting, the tactical zone. All right, we got the 50 EMA. All right, so again, we understand the levels, right? We have remainder of the green candle, liquidity being recovered to the dollar, and the formation of the initial balance low. Okay, so again, right, we're using the entire script, the entire indicator, part 1, 2, and 3, because it is the strategy, right? Part 1, right, EMAs and candles were extended above the 50 EMA. Part 2, coming into multiple levels of resistance. All right, and back to part 1, previous liquidity to be recovered. And then we look at part 3 of the indicator, all right, and we see that further confluence, all right, is a TDI cross, a VWAP cross, and money flow coming out of the asset. We also have a money flow divergence, right? Price is pushing to the downside. They're inducing long positions as money flow is decreasing out of the asset. Price going up, money coming out. inducing and trapping long positions, and we look for price to balance out, right? Money flow divergence, price comes down, and we now look for downward price action, and that's what we get. Okay, I don't care. Again, back to the strategy. We look for the highest probability to at least hit take profit one, right? We're very extended from the 50, coming into multiple levels of support. Look how they induce and trap people believing there's going to be the golden cross as well, right? Golden cross, but money flows coming out of the asset, right? We know that we're extended, and I love you guys. Nobody looks at the chart and sees this and say, hey, it's a good time to long. Let's long, right? We flipped our mindset, all right? So this indicator, these scripts allow us to trade the strategy using all the criteria we use with everything on the chart at once, and we can dictate what we want to see, what levels we want to use, etc., like I said. Okay, same thing, part of the strategy, right? Look at this, right? We have a previous support and resistance level. Okay, and we start to pull in our scopes, right? We got our scope, we got our scope extension. Right, we see the scope lines up with a retest of this previous level, right? What do we got? Okay, support, notable volume break, retest recovery, resistance, notable volume break, retest recovery. All right, so what do we look for? We look for price to come test the level, back test resistance. At this point, the 50 EMA will be down at this side. VWAP will be down in that zone. All right, look for back test resistance, continuation to the downside, or we break above and retest support. But again, guys, this three-part script gives you everything that we use in the strategy, all in 3 parts on your screen at once, and the ability to customize it yourself. All right, again, extended from the 50. Okay, part 1. All right, coming into multiple levels of resistance or support, part 2. Previous liquidity left to be recovered, same with part 1. All right, and then again, part 3, oscillators, money flow, right? TDI, the extra confluence, and confluence equals what? Confidence. Okay, if you're interested in getting the indicator, if you do not have it now, again, click the Discord link in the description to the video. Come on in, Disruptive Devs. The whole team has an entire section in the Discord that you can give feedback, you can get help. If you have any bugs to work out, you can contact them directly, right? Go to start here, go to the website, payment form. All right, it's a donation-based system. The guys put a ton of work into this for months and months and months. All right. Other channels have adopted some of these concepts as well, all right? And they have other indicators as well. They have an entire website where you can go. You can ask them to work on custom stuff for yourself, okay? Shout out to the Disruptive Devs team, all right? Can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done, all right? So if you guys want to order the indicator, please go to the website. If you want to take a look at everything and contact the team, go into the Discord as well. That's where the link to the website is. And also, please go in and check out the PDF, all right? You can watch this video and go in the PDF, get a little bit more in-depth information, right? And have it right where you can read it, okay? So you don't have to go back and watch this video and hear my voice all the time, right? Even though some of you guys like that. But you can go back, go into the PDF. It is completely free. I made it. It is downloadable, and it also has a web link. So when I update stuff, when things are added to it, okay, it becomes added to your web link. You do not have to download it again. All right, but again, shout out to the team for putting this into the PDF as well. All right, step-by-step instructions there, but I just wanted to do a video and give you guys a quick understanding of how I use it for the strategy, how simple and easy it is to use, and how simple and easy it is to customize. Okay, if you guys have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to the team, Premier Crypto and the DisDevs team. Okay, you can find them in the Discord, and they also have their own Discord. Okay, the link to that is in our Discord as well. You can find that there. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Okay, as always, trade well.